Hi, this is Nick Marinaro. A couple things about me quickly. I work at Lancaster Catholic High School. I've been there. This is actually my second year now. I teach U.S. history, world history, algebra. I'm actually teaching math and history at this point, so actually pretty fun. Um, I also work with foundations level students this year, which is actually I'm finding to be pretty challenging, but also pretty fun because I like working and building some of those core skills to try and prepare them for later. Um, I'm also the director of entrepreneurship leadership at our school, which is a new program that we just started this year. My hobbies, interests, love obviously time with my family. I have two young kids that take up a majority of my time, but I still love my Philadelphia sports, especially can't wait for my Eagles to start soon. I'm a Star Wars fanatic, and I love the beach. Here's some pictures of my kiddos. This is Luke. He is 4, and Nora, who had recently just turned 2. Um, they're the best things in the world. So it keep me very busy. I've been married to my wife Carrie since 2009. We've been living in Mount Joy since then. Just a couple little background on me as far as how I got into teaching. I actually was a business major at one point, um, and I worked at a few places in Lancaster. Grew up in the city, worked at a couple places in the city, Health Guard, American Home Bank, and Identicard. Eventually found my way into education, went back to school after graduating Millersville in 2001. I went back in 2010 and I got certified in secondary ed social studies. I added my middle school math cert onto that eventually, and now I'm working towards my grad degree in assessment curriculum and teaching with the focus on online teaching. Um, Again, like I said, I'm employed at Lancaster Catholic, but I've been in a couple schools in the past couple of years, including a couple charter schools in New York City that have come and gone over the past few years. My experience with online teaching, right now I'm actually teaching in a virtual classroom. One of my Algebra 1 classes is actually off-site. So I teach in a room by myself, and I'm teaching 8th graders in 3 of our Catholic partner schools that do not have a certified Algebra 1 teacher. So if they pass this course, that enables them to be able to take Algebra 2 once they get to high school. It's kind of why I'm taking this major and look for a better way to develop a curriculum that's suitable for this environment, a better way to communicate, assessments, interact myself with the students, but also have them interact with each other. I have taken online courses before, some in this program. I've taken courses at Hack and other classes at Millersville. Some were very interactive, and some not so much. Some of them consisted of a taped lecture and an assignment, and really no interaction between student professor or student and student. So again, that wasn't. I didn't get a whole lot out of those courses. But so far, the courses I've taken in this program have been great when it comes to interacting as a community. As far as the overview questions, which challenges of teaching online or ones that I wanted to learn more about? I guess one of them would be to facilitate feedback and communication, just ways to design that to get the best feedback from my students. It's something I want to work with. Even the classes that I have that are face to face, I want to incorporate more technology in. Right now we use Canvas. I want to find better ways to use that as far as to provide feedback to the students and interact with them. Dealing with students not suitable for an online platform. Again, I may or may not, I don't know. I want the option someday, maybe if I become an online teacher, there are certain students that don't have possibly either the discipline, or maybe it's better for them to be in a face-to-face environment, just like it's better for some of these students to be on an online environment than it would be to be in a face-to-face. Getting to know students, like I said, I'm in a virtual classroom, so I actually do at least, I see them every day. I'm developing relationships with them, but other ways and other platforms to be able to make that a little bit more meaningful. Teaching self-regulating strategies. There is a lot of discipline on taking an online class. It's a lot of responsibility. and how we can teach some of those self-regulating strategies to those students. Some of them, especially that don't have a whole lot of direction from home. Maybe some of them, this is more of a credit recovery type option, and they're already struggling in school. And how do we work to to give them the right skills to be successful? And then one of the things would be meeting the needs of students with disabilities as well. What kind of assistive technologies can I recommend? Maybe I'm not responsible for make sure they get it, but what can I recommend? How can I help them out to let them know something that might be of assistance to them? Number two, the YouTube video, which is a great question. Um, as far as good teaching is good teaching, and it's a good statement as far as a general statement. Good teaching is effective teaching, and what I mean by that is effective teaching is learning taking place, and not only is learning taking place, but are the kids having fun while they're learning. So that's good teaching. I could be very effective teaching in a face-to-face classroom, and I go and try and do exactly the same thing in an online environment, and I might fall flat on my face. So just because I'm a good teacher face-to-face doesn't mean that I'm equipped to be a good online teacher. There's obviously other skills that need developed and different strategies that need to be learned. So when it says, what ways does this make sense to you? Obviously that makes sense. But an overgeneralization, of course, good teaching is good teaching, but it has to be, within, the environment that you're working with. Those things. Can you relate to your students? Do you have a positive interaction? I may have a positive interaction face to face, but I struggle connecting on that online platform. And the main thing are students learning. Are they learning what they're supposed to be learning? Are they having fun doing it? Is it effective? And the last thing here, as far as when it comes to standards, I actually liked reading over the standards. I thought they were very sensible. They're actually written out very easy to follow, which was really nice compared to some of the other state standards that I've read over before. Especially if you want to become an online teacher. Actually, I think this is something great for anybody that wants to become prepared. The question is, are there aspects? I did watch all the videos, which they're very short and they're great commercials, and probably makes everybody think that that certain online school is a great option. And they all look great. But again, some of them were 30-second clips, a minute and a half. So they didn't get a whole chance to really describe exactly what they offer. The main thing that a lot of them said was the fact that they were that you get that individualized plan, that you get that individualized option, which is great. But is that really feasible? Is that really possible? Is that really going to be able to work? I don't know. I'd like to see it. You'd like to hope that every kid gets that individual plan. But unless there's one teacher per one student, it's going to be very difficult. I don't know what the class size is. I don't know. Maybe you're teaching to 40 kids. Maybe you're teaching to 25. It doesn't really specify in that. It doesn't specify everything that ties into what standards they align to as well. As far as any aspects of the course that do not fit, it doesn't really mention in there anything about the curriculum. If there's some of the standards that specify that teachers can alter, adapt the curriculum to the students. I know some of these schools and some of the things that we've read about, that the curriculum is pretty much black and white. It is what it is. It can't be adjusted. You have to follow the curriculum. That's what the schools state. So in that sense, like I said, it may or may not follow what the curriculum guide says, what the standard says, but maybe it does try to an extent. They said one of the standards I, the online teacher, knows and understands techniques to plan individualized instruction incorporating data. Maybe that works, and then you look right below it. The online teacher knows and understands how data is used to modify the content. If they can't modify, they would be violating that standard I. That's the one thing that I can come up with that maybe clearly that it would go against, but nothing that's spelled out directly. Again, looking forward to this class. The standards themselves, I actually enjoyed reading over, and look forward to learning more about online learning.